And we are live once more. Once more into the breach.
No stage left. Damn it.
Oh, he died just a couple days ago, Tom Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, he was 90 something. 96, 97, something like that.
Oh, well,
yes.
that's a good run.
Yes. Thinking the one who actually was the chief writer of the old show, Broadway show, The Fantastics, which is still has the record for the longest running show in New York.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. We're just rambling about nonsense, waiting for people to actually show up, and you are the first one to show up tonight.
I'm not shocked at all.
Oh no, you're not shocked.
No, Michelle loves us, and she's also very prompt.
Allison is
has
here.
Arrived.
Allison is,
Excellent.
and Allison is one of the ones who actually signed up ahead of time.
Indeed, indeed.
And there's Kate. Hello, Kate.
Look at the people filing in. Yes, very good.
So yes, we've actually got 5 people pre-signed up.
We do. So we have
Alexa, and then we have Diane and Angelique Thibault.
Yep.
Which we're not quite sure if they're actually the same person under 2 different profiles and they signed up twice by accident, or if they're really 2 different people. I guess we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Yay.
Michelle had her alarm set, she says.
That's very sweet.
Yes, because after all, we are just so...
We're something.
I wasn't quite sure how to actually finish that sentence there.
Let me help. And also, please excuse me if y'all hear any weird noises or anything. I haven't been able to have dinner yet, so it's also dinner time.
Yes, sure. Her food is behind the camera, so to speak, here. So
I have barbecue. What did you guys all have?
Technically, it's off to the side.
Well, whatever. Close enough. Mr. Card Factorial over there.
Well, while we wait for more people to file in and more people on our list to file in, do we want to start off with the 2 people on the list that are here?
I suppose. I mean, we have 6 people watching right now, according to the little counter there. Hello, Wendy. Wendy.
And then Alexa is here. Yes, I figured it was going to be one of the parental units represented.
I was going to say, Alexa as under the name of Samuel Campbell.
Yes. Oh yes, and everybody, Sound Guy is here this month.
Yes, he's here. He says this may be one of the last times for a while he'll be here because of his schedule. So I'm sure that we'll definitely hear lots and lots of comments from that peanut gallery in front of us.
That's racist.
Wendy, if you would like to be added to the list, yes, absolutely. Put Wendy on.
Wendy. I need the pen for that, though.
I don't know where you put the pen.
I told you it was over there.
The pen went away.
Okay.
We're going to use a different pen
we'll use
now.
A different, we'll use the red pen.
Dun, dun, dun!
You know what happens when I write things with the red pen.
He becomes Palpatine. But yes, so then once we write Wendy down, we will kick things off since most of our people seem to be here. And shall we start with the birthday human?
The birthday human. Actually, when we do that, maybe we should just do a little explanation of actually what the hell we're doing.
Oh my gosh. I forget that there might be people that don't know what's going on.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know what the hell we're doing and who we are, I am Lord Fafnir, and this is
Spawn.
And together we are the Core Thieves.
Oh my God. No, get out of my head. No, that wasn't.
Sorry, we're still in Ren Fair mode. Yes, that was our. Oh, it is.
I'm not even a part of that show.
But you still know the opening very well.
Yes.
Anyway, so we're Lord Fafnir and Spawn, otherwise known as Bruce and Red, and we are here doing live free psychic readings in the form of tarot card readings. We have 10 slots, 10 people, of which we have 6 signed up, and we have 4 still available, believe it or not. And we do 3-card tarot readings. When it is your turn, please wait and be patient. Those who signed up first are going to go first. And those who basically are signing up here are going to have to wait until the end. So you're just going to have to just watch.
Unless there is a specific scheduling issue.
Like, say you're overseas and need to go to bed because it's 4 a.m.
Yes, because we've had several.
We've had that happen before a few times. Exactly. So the thing is, when it is your turn, feel free to ask us a question. Obviously, type it in the comments. And you don't have to ask a question, though. The idea is that we're going to do a 3-card reading for you. If you ask a question, we'll do our best to answer it. If you don't, we're just going to do a brief general reading. Please ask for which one of us you actually would like to be leading. And I'll grant you're going to get both of our opinions anyway. But if you'd like to have
it's
Red
not
say
April
Red,
yet, sound guy. Hush.
Yeah, exactly. Or you want me to say me, and then the idea is also ask for which deck you would like to use. As always, Red and I both have our separate Dragon Tarot cards, our all-purpose deck. Red also has the all-purpose deck called the Swiss 11J, otherwise known as the Dark Shadows deck to us, because it was actually used in that old 60s TV show. And then I also happen to have my relationship tarot deck called the Tarot of Sexual Magic. It's R-rated, so be on your head. You might get a sexy card.
So that's not an option for Alexa.
No,
probably not. And then the last thing I want to ask you for is a number between 1 and 78. The idea is that we typically, when we do these things for live, we actually give you the cards, you shuffle and put your energy. Obviously, live stream, you can't do that, but we want some of your energy. So the idea is that we shuffle the cards, you tell us what number will be the starting card. I will find it because Red can't do it very well quickly.
No, excuse you. It's quickly.
Okay,
it's not well.
I said it's quickly. Well, you can't do it well quickly.
I've been working.
You can't do it quickly well.
I'm working very hard at occupational therapy. Yeah.
I know. Anyway, so we'll find the position, and that will become the starter card. So there are the ground rules. Did I miss anything?
Nope. I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
And we say here, the birthday spawn would like the me and dragon and 13.
Well, since she wants you, we're going to use your dragon cards.
Gosh, I wonder why on earth we've picked the number 13.
Well, could it be triskaidekaphobia? Could it be that was her actual birthday? Or could it be the fact of it refers to the card of death?
I think it might be because it's the 13th birthday.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. So she's 13.
Yes, it's a very important birthday. Everybody wish Alexa happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alexa!
I'm not sure which Muppet that was.
I was going to say that was very Muppet sounding, yes.
Oh yes, Matt. I like what Matt said to Melissa. Apparently Melissa is listening from the interstate, and Matt says, please listen responsibly.
Okay.
I like that.
It is also my youngest birthday today as well.
Happy birthday, Lance!
I sent him a link. I don't know if he'll get in, but I sent him a link.
All right, so I have the cards ready for the birthday lady.
Okay,
the 13-year-old birthday lady. So you can flip to whenever. There we go. All right, so what we have here.
Oh wait, before we start, first of all, so sorry about the blurry. It's not wanting to focus, but that's very funny now. The kiddo is walking around the apartment. I am the age of death.
Yes.
It's really funny because I'm watching you on my Facebook stream.
Well, the thing is,
you're clear, he's blurry.
That's
really bizarre. But the idea is that the number 13 in the tarot deck is the death card. So it's also for Scorpio, which I grant you that this August 13th is your birthday. Sorry, you ain't no Scorpio, you're a Leo.
Yeah, no, this is our month.
Anyway, so what we have here, and we do refer to inverted cards. We read those. We've got the upside down number 4, the Emperor, doubles as Aries, by the way. We have the second card is the Page of Swords, another zodiac. That is Gemini. And then the last one is the inverted 7 of Swords.
I like what we have going on here for a progression.
I will turn this first and third around so you can see the pictures. And then I will shut up and let Red talk.
Yay! But yes, I like what we have going on here for a progression. So with the Emperor, we have influence over our lives that we are not appreciative of. Essentially, I'm I do believe this may be speaking to your bullying problem and the lack of adult help with that aren't your parents. But then we move into the Page of Swords here, and this is the dragon kind of doing the woohoo! I am free! I am free! Free at last! Free at last! Spread my wings and fly! And yeah, that's sort of what is happening for you right now. We are in the summer break. We are having a nice break. You get to sort of rest, recuperate, and not deal with bullies. But then moving into the Seven of Swords, there's a big change coming down the way for you, but you know that it is coming, and you're essentially prepared for it, taking it on head on. And it's one of those things where, since that card was inverted, it's one you don't necessarily know what's on the other side of that door. But you are still not afraid of crossing that threshold. Because I think in your frame of thinking, you're kind of going, well, it can't be worse than what I'm currently dealing with. So we like that, a positive progression for your 13th year. Do you want to add anything into that there?
I also like the fact of there's the obvious, of course, changes are coming because she's bloody 13. You know, and so there's the changes which are going to be happening whether she likes it or not.
I saw her a couple of hours ago. She was not bloody.
I'm thinking the English version of bloody. It's a bloody swear word in England.
Alexa, are you bloody?
Oh
boy. I like so just so you know, if we heard the first card right, Mini Spawn and the Gemini is Mini Spawn's best friend. It's not the first card. The first card is Aries.
Who's Mini Spawn?
Mini Spawn is Alexa, because I'm Spawn.
Oh.
So they're Mini Spawn.
Okay. I get it.
They share some qualities.
So the idea is that...
No.
So the thing is, the whole point with that last card, the Seven of Swords, the funny thing about the way this deck is drawn, for the swords anyway, once you get past the number 3, the swords all start forming metaphorical door frames. And the dragon is essentially trying to get through, but in every single one of these cards, except for the 7, by the way, there's always a problem. Sometimes it's the swords are in the wrong position. Sometimes the dragon's doing something stupid and therefore can't get through or won't go through the door frame. The 7's the only one where there is literally nothing there preventing the dragon from going through. And as you can see, because you're
already
seeing
on the other side,
you see the dragon's back. They've already gone through. And if you look really, really closely, because I grant you with this camera, maybe you can't see it. There's actually 9 swords. There's 2 little swords right here in the bottom, referencing part of the door frame that the dragon knocked away to basically get through. You know, the whole concept of to make the omelet, you got to break some eggs.
Yes, and I mean, when Matt is making his sarcastic comment about how similar Alexa and I are, tis true. You're doing well, kid. Keep going.
Not to mention the fact of, just from an energy point of view, air and fire, wands being an emperor being for fire suit and swords being for the element of air. Those are the male energy elements. Those are the ones which require that you actually have that action, that intelligence, that charisma, that drive to go forward and actually do what you need to do.
Hi, Tawny. So here, let me...
So that's what we got for that one.
Hi, Tawny.
So according to Sound Guy, you're in focus and I'm blurry.
I mean, you look all right from where I'm sitting, but...
Yeah, actually, it's funny. With the view that we're getting in our monitor back here, neither one of us look blurry. But I'll take it on what he's saying, because after all, he's seeing it through the eyes of what you guys are seeing, not through what we're seeing.
So, happy birthday, Alexa.
Hippo birdie to use, hippo birdie to use, hippo birdie, dear you, hippo birdie to use.
That's one of his favorites. I like the birthday dirge myself.
Happy birthday,
happy birthday,
death, destruction, and despair, people dying everywhere, so happy birthday, happy birthday.
I love that.
I was gonna say
that
that one's got so many verses though. Now,
Chels, there are still some spots available. We can absolutely put you down, Chels.
yes, we actually still
You're gonna
have.
put her down? That seems a little harsh.
Hey, Matt, there's something in my eye. Can you help me?
Yeah. So yes, when we include Wendy before, Wendy's on the list now, so that actually went up to 2-6. So Chelsea wants in. So we still actually have 3 spots left over. And has either Diane or Angelique Thibault showed up yet?
I have not seen either of them.
Me neither.
So let's move on to
Allison.
Allison and then Kate.
Allison and then Kate. Allison is in the batter's box. Kate is in the on-deck circle. And I know Allison's a veteran of this. She's gotten some readings with us before. So let us see what she wants us to ponder about on this evening.
Allison says, both sexy deck 7, a general love life outlook for the next couple of months, please.
But she wants the sexy deck, but she wants a general love reading.
If Melissa can keep her connection, she says she'll take one.
If she can keep her connection?
Because she's on the highway.
Oh.
But she's not driving, apparently, so I guess we'll allow it.
Oh, I hear the meowing upstairs.
Oh, yeah. You know, Pandora always has things to say when readings are happening.
I know.
Just I don't know if y'all can hear, but she's wailing upstairs.
Either that she wants treats again.
Am I ready to flip, sir?
You are ready.
Flipty-dipty.
All right. So we have here, what we have here is a failure to communicate. I think you got that Cool Hand Luke reference in there at least once a thing, right? All right. So we have number 10 of Pentacles or Earth. We have the upside down number 20, Judgment. And the other upside down number 2, the High Priestess. It's kind of interesting. The fact is that we have 20 and 2 from a numerology. So we have 10, 20, and 2, and 2 times 10 is 20. So it's like going, yeah, the good old numerologist on me is just kind of like going,
You're having a field day with your numbers.
Yeah, I love me numbers. So that's what the pictures look like right side up. Well, let's put it to you this way, because she said she just wants a general what's coming down the path, so to speak, or next few months here. Well, for one thing is the fact, and again, I should make this blanket statement for those who have not seen this deck before. As you can see, it is drawn heterosexually, male, female, but the idea is that this deck is actually more about male and female energy that each one of us possess, as opposed to the actual physical gender. Therefore, don't get so bogged down to if you're a lady, that you have to be the lady in all of these cards where there's more than one person. No, you actually don't.
She's a lady.
Whoa, she's a lady.
Sorry.
Yes, I know that we have a tendency of doing that as well. Now, as it turns out, both of these decks, it doesn't really matter for both these cards, rather, both of these cards, it doesn't really matter, Allison, who you are, because this one, the whole point of number 10 of Earth, that whole idea of the balance of actual physical Earth, the combination of the physical and the mental and the emotional pleasures of life. The idea is that, are you the lady that's actually, being taken care of, so to speak here, or are you the man that's actually putting the fruit that's on her, and then he will be, dealing with her later on. Playing both sides of it, knowing the idea is that there are some days that you give, and there's some days that you receive. So that's kind of a big fat, yeah. That's what you're supposed to do. So if you're leading a little more to the idea of right now, considering the fact of, especially in love, if you're definitely giving too much and receiving too little, knock it off. Or if you're doing the reverse, knock it off. You definitely want to have more of that centered aspect. Essentially, because the reverse number 20 Judgment card here, that's the one which kind of like I say, yeah, you know what? Maybe the balance is what you need more than anything else, because you don't want things to get too unbalanced, because you don't want to have that little picture, even though it's upside down. Roman numeral 20 upside down is still a pair of X's. So this card upside down doesn't really make that much of a difference. And you see here what it looks like a very, very poor attempt at a pagan hand fasting. The man and the woman there being bound by the cherub And
Look
then,
at
of
it,
course,
it's going all the way up her arm.
yeah, I mean, well, both of them. They got their arms bound, their legs are bound. You know, what's this guy doing? And then, of course, Cupid's kind of there to look at this whole thing from the top of the card here, if you can see it up here. And his look on his face is kind of like going, I don't know about this. As opposed to, he doesn't have his bow drawn. He's more like, you think you ought to look at what you guys are doing here? Because essentially, this is not good. This essentially refers to a potential couple being bound, too close together to the point where neither one of them has any freedom. And that's not a good way of looking at it. So the idea of balance between the give and the take will allow you to remain being your individual free self, because the high priestess basically there, the single lady there, just kind of like looking at her spell book and kind of like, practicing, doing a little bit of mini spell casting, a little kitty at her feet here, which she's rubbing with her foot while she's reading her spell. It really refers to the idea of that, you're the high priestess, but the thing is, who are you actually serving? You do not need to serve everybody, Allison. This kind of refers to the idea is that it seems to be that you're definitely giving much more than you are receiving.
Which seems to be a track record.
That unfortunately seems to be a track record. And it does not lead to the most healthy of relationships. You might seem to think it's nice and balanced, and on the surface it might be, but you get a little more in depth. It's like going, no, there's definitely some freedom aspects that there's restrictions that are going on that you're not allowing yourself to use. Being the high priestess doesn't mean you actually have to do anything. You can definitely use your powers for the greater good and give everything out to everybody else. But if you give everything out to everybody else, you got nothing left for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a voluntary thing here to even give any of your power to anybody. By all means, free will. Give to those that you wish to give to, but just make sure that they're worthy, that you're not just like giving random energy to everybody, because that's how you get taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
Do you wish to add anything to that?
For the cards, no, just more of a listen to your gut. If there are things that you're wondering about, ask about them, talk about them, or explore them in whatever way works for you. But if you're feeling like something might be off, but you're worried about overthinking it, don't overthink it. Just trust your gut.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, the first card is what you think basically, it's the card of balance. This is what you should have. What you actually have is more like this. And so it's your need, your desire, or your ability to actually make those changes. But that's what we got on that one.
Yep.
And she was very quiet. I didn't see a single comment on that thing.
Nope. We have them enthralled. Oh. It's all very, very true. Thank you as always.
You were very, very welcome, as always.
And Kate is ready.
She's ready. Excellent.
Both General Future, Dark Shadows 53.
All right, so let me shuffle up the sex cards in case someone else wants a love reading later on. All right, so you said 53, right?
53,
and
yes.
No specific question, correct?
Nope, just General Future. Faster.
I foresee at least two cards of massive amounts of symmetry. Mainly because statistically that's what's going to happen, given what we know what this deck actually has.
What, have we spent a lot of time talking about this deck recently?
Oh, I'm wrong.
Oh, are you?
I am.
Well, look at that.
I hope you know what you have in that deck. How long have you had it?
3 years?
Who is this again?
That is the
I can't.
king.
I was gonna say I can't read French upside
King.
down.
King of Swords.
Yes. Okay, so go ahead and flip it. We are big on inverted cards tonight. Apparently,
We are.
I mean the middle one's not, but the thing is, we have the inverted Temperance with the very incorrect Roman numeral 14.
I know it hurts me.
It hurts.
A lot of their Roman numerals are straight up. Just wrong.
That really does hurt. And then we have the 9 of Wands, and then we have the upside down King of Swords. And so now we have, again, once we have 2 more signs of the zodiac. Temperance also refers to Sagittarius, and the King of Swords is my card, Libra.
Da, 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 da.
Duh. And we're getting close to the month of Libra. My birthday month is, no,
And we're
Still
in,
6
we're
weeks
still
away.
in my birthday month.
I know.
man.
We
It's still my time.
Yeah, your time.
I'm sorry, we're in Leo season.
Well, actually, Leo actually ends in a few days. We're almost done with you. Thank the Lord. We need to have some grounding up ahead. At least after the fire sign comes a nice solid earth sign. Virgo.
Needs to be more cancers in your life.
Virgo.
Yeah, it says the most cancer I've ever met.
Okay, so again, turn these upside down, or to right side rather. Le Temperance.
It is time for the self-reflection.
So yes, pair fire and air. Again, male energy. But unlike what we were just saying for birthday girl Alexa a couple of readings ago, Temperance is the exact opposite. Even though it's a fire sign, Temperance, if you look at with the dictionary, Temperance means reevaluation. One of its meanings in the dictionary anyway. And funny, number 14, which converts into a 5. Numerology, what does 5 mean? And generally speaking, reevaluation.
Yep.
And the whole point of Sagittarius fire energy, it's the lowest of the 3 fire signs. So essentially, it's not, quote, the prettiest to look at, but it is going to last the longest. The metaphor being is that unlike Aries and Leo, which are like the flames above everything, Sagittarius is more like the coals, which remain hot for like days after the flames actually have gone out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good energy card to have here. But the idea is that the upside down Temperance suggests that maybe it's a good time for you to do some significant reevaluation, but boy, you don't want to do it, do you? You're resisting.
Because, and I'm going to guess, you fall into the overthinking trap. Reevaluating is hard for you because once you start getting into the nitty-gritty details, then you get stuck because you keep finding more and more and more and more and more.
I'm going to interrupt real quick here. Jamie, I see your comments from YouTube. We have you on the list for later on.
Yay!
Now keep going.
But yes, when it is upside down, it tends to, it's like, yes, reevaluation needs to be done, but you're resisting it for whatever reason. But the reason more often than not tends to be the double-edged sword of reevaluation, which is help me, I'm overthinking everything.
That's definitely one way of looking at it. And do you see the beautiful symmetry of the 9 of Wands in the middle? Do you see it?
No.
Good, because it's not there. I mean, if this card was black and white,
Then sure.
then yes, we would be symmetrical. The fact that they decided to color this card makes the symmetry no. And frankly, even though they've limited the colors there, you've got red, you got blue, you have yellow, and you have brown. So it's not like it's a huge number of colors. But if you look at where the actual colors show up and the symmetrical versions of those things, other than this wand here, the one that goes up and down, that one actually is symmetrical. None of the other ones are.
They are, though.
Not color-wise.
Not color-wise.
If you turn the card upside down, it's the exact same pattern.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
Nope.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Upper left is blue. Lower right is blue. You turn it upside down.
We're talking about the wands in and of themselves. They are not symmetrical all the way through.
I mean, basically, it's a pretty pattern. Don't get me wrong. And the thing is, it's not something which is like ridiculously grotesque or ugly. It's just that the little nuances are different.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that you have to essentially, if you look at this from the far away view, you look at say, hey, it looks pretty symmetrical. And by the way, you would be correct to say that. It's only when you get actually really close and look down dirty, you kind of go, yeah, now I see the things things don't quite exactly match up, which is the whole point of this.
Because Matt, what you're thinking is if you flip it upside down, it's still the same thing. But symmetrical is both halves are the same, and they are not.
I mean, case in point here, use an example here. The end points here, I'm just going to use the very ends of these wands. You got 2 red, a yellow, and a blue. Here you've got 2 red, a yellow, and a brown. Here you've got a red, 2 reds, a yellow, and a brown. And here you have 2 yellows and 2 reds.
It's the 9 of double-ended paintbrushes.
Oh my God.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Or curtain rods. One of the two.
Oh my God. You're closer on that.
Let's go back
one.
to flaming jello shots there, dude.
No, that's the other guy.
So any hoodle.
And by the way, that's one of the things the Swiss 1/1J deck does in the suit cards. It really kind of brings out the effect of symmetry or lack thereof, and the thing is, the idea is that because essentially life is not symmetrical as much as we would love it to be. It's just not.
And yes, Annie, you are our last spot if everybody shows up for their spots.
Yes, I don't have Angelique and Diane have not yet shown up, so we may have to.
We'll see.
Yes, exactly. So, you're avoiding your reevaluation, and the thing is that how detailed do you need to be in your 9 of Wands? And by the way, it's okay for you not to have your symmetry completely matched. Because after all, we're humans. We are imperfect, and we always will be.
Yes.
So the thing is, this may be a perfectly valid setup for your perspective, and just move forward. And then, of course, the final card, even though it's upside down, the King of Air, the King of Swords, very majestic king right there. Also Libra card. And what's Libra refer to? Balance. Also upside down because the thing is, this is the balance that you're deliberately doing things to avoid being balanced, but that's ultimately where you need to go. You're fighting City Hall, you're spitting into the wind, you're doing all these silly little mixed metaphors, that we learned when we were young, right?
Yeah, keep going.
You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull the mask on the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim.
What did Jim do?
Not enough. That's the point.
Big bad Jim.
Bad Leroy Brown.
Well, Jim Croce, he did both of those songs.
That's why they sound so similar.
Oh yeah, that's very Bad Leroy Brown and You Don't Mess Around with Jim are very, very similar songs. Anyway, what do you want to add to that?
I appreciate Kate's input of I'm working on balance. Yes, no, that is evident.
Okay, work harder.
But also,
stop actually. I shouldn't say work harder. I'm being a jackass saying that.
You are.
It's more to the fact of it is that stop avoiding certain things, or stop. Sometimes you do need to go down some directions that you are a little more difficult.
So here's a fun example. I am now in the part of my occupational therapy process where we are doing a thing that I did not want to do because I knew that it was going to suck. And guess what? We started that process this week. It sucks. And I still need to do it so that I can learn the thing so that I can become more functional and mobile in my day-to-day. It sucks and I hate it. And there's something good on the other end. It's time for you to do some of the things that you've been putting off.
Amen.
Whether that's like actually sitting with your feelings that you've been avoiding, or I mean, I could suggest a myriad of things, but whatever it is that you are like that you've been putting off, now might be the time.
Maybe a little bit.
Yay!
Oh, and by the way, I see the note from, I'm pronouncing the name, Negar. Is that Najar?
Yeah, so we're starting our waiting room, which
Yes.
for those of you that have not been here before, our waiting room is one of those where we will put your names in it, but we are not guaranteeing you a space in this particular session. We do 10 readings per session, and once we hit that number, then we are done for the evening. So
Najar, but how I'd say, do not be dismissed, because we all the times we've done this, I had a wait list. We've always actually managed to wind up doing at least one person on the wait list.
Yeah, we tell people to sign up in advance to guarantee themselves a spot, but there's usually at least one person who signs up beforehand.
At least one
does not show.
Case in point, we actually had 5 who signed up in advance. We've done the first 3 who were pre-signups. Our other 2 pre-signups, Diane and Angelique Thibault, I don't think have chimed in.
No, they haven't. So I'm going back up because in the comments here, because I think Wendy actually sent in her stuff earlier.
Yes.
Yes. So she wants random everything except for card 27.
Random everything, huh?
Yes, that's what she said.
Okay. Well, basically, we're moving on to Wendy anyway, because
Yep.
the idea is that we are now going into the people who sign up during the stream here. And so, Najar, unless Diane or Angelique magically show up in the next time frame, we got a spot for you.
Hey, Mary Jamas there, Mary with the beard and everything. Bye.
Mary's got a beard.
What,
yeah.
troll?
Yeah. First one of the evening. We were doing so well.
No, you cannot consider us for a no.
Can I consider you for a reading, love? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, here's my consideration. No, thanks.
Great. So back to Wendy.
Okay. So she said random everything.
Except card number 27.
Well, we have not yet used my dragon cards, so we're going to go with that random.
Okie dokie.
Which isn't really random, by the way. It makes it more balanced, because every other deck has actually had a use tonight.
Perfectly balanced.
Oh God.
As all things.
Oh, shut it.
Do I get credit for the fact that I am quoting a movie I haven't even seen?
You want credit?
I do.
Okay, that's pretty damn good, by the way.
Thank you.
And she's at 27, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your credit will be $1.29. What a bargain.
Oh boy.
Also, and before we start this one, while
Did you have to bring him back, by the way? I think we were better when he wasn't here.
Anyway, while he's still getting the cards ready in front of the camera there, I did just want to say thank you to everybody that showed up for the first Psychic Expo in Vermont. It went so swimmingly, and everybody is already asking us for year 2. So thank you for all of y'all that came. I know that some of you that have been watching us actually came and met us for the first time and took classes and everything. Thank you. It was a really, really great event. We had a very good time. And
we are definitely on for year 2, by the way.
Absolutely, we are.
Okay.
Switch
it over. For the first time, we have
swords again.
We have 3 cards. None of them are inverted.
But I recognize a card there.
Oh, I bet you do. Well, I bet you recognize all the cards.
Well, yes, but we've had one of them tonight in a different reading.
Yes, we have, because Wendy didn't ask a question. Everything's just, quote, random.
Yes, so we're doing something general here, I suppose.
Yes. So the thing is, we have the 7 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the 9 of Cups. So 7 of 9. For those of you who remember Star Trek Voyager.
We're not nerds here.
I did like her bodysuit, though.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, good for you.
Who didn't?
Yeah, you got a point there.
Anyway.
So yeah, the pair of nines, the whole concept of getting very close to your transformation aspect of things. As we mentioned before, the whole point of the Seven of Swords, the idea of the dragon's back is to the door frame he's already gone through. That's great. You have made some excellent progress. And now the pair of nines before you essentially kind of go stretch your boundaries even more. For one thing, the Nine of Swords, you see there's that dragon again in front of that same door frame, only the swords are a little different this time. But now he's kind of like hovering over there in front of it because he's partially obscured in a cloud. And like going, I'm not sure if he should go through. Maybe conditions should be clear. After all, because in the 7, conditions are clear. The clouds, there's almost no clouds. It looks really, 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 really nice. The 9, not so much. But if you look a little closer, you realize that, you know what? The clouds only obscure the dragon's body. His head, his eyes, is not a problem here. He can actually see very, very well. He could go through. So have the courage to go through, which goes along with the 9 of Cups, the more emotion-based card, but we call that one the fish out of the water, the little seahorse dragon who's jumping out of the pond here.
Yes, both your brain and your heart are kind of going, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. But the idea is that you have to really essentially stretch your boundaries. Really go outside your comfort zone. That's what the whole point of the 9 of Cups is that this little seahorse dragon deliberately jumping out of the water to kind of go, what the hell's up here? Now, I'll grant you, if you're a fish, you're not going to be out of the water too long for obvious reasons. But fish jump out of water all the time when they see the sun glint, they see food going by, and they got to get that, a little bit of a different perspective of other aspects of things. And the only way you actually see that is to actually get outside your comfort zone. So it is time for you to really stretch. Like we said, the 7 of Swords says you've moved forward. That's great. But now it's the pair of 9s are saying really, really go out on a little bit of a limb here.
Mm-hmm.
Really go out and actually and do something which to you would seem really uncomfortable. And just learn.
I have done so many things like that. So, like, here's something that I recommend as, like...
Are you saying I'm uncomfortable?
You're funny. But here's like a basic starting point that I've recommended to people a bunch in readings in terms of, like, getting out of your comfort zone and starting to do things that, push those boundaries and things. Take yourself out on a date. Go to a restaurant by yourself, go to a movie by yourself, something like that. I basically got to a point where I was very tired of trying to make plans with people who were just constantly having to shift, cancel, whatever, because life happens. So I started taking myself out when I really wanted to go out, but people couldn't make it. And you know what? I really enjoy it. I've discovered it was definitely uncomfortable the first couple of times, but honestly, I love taking a book and going to wherever the hell it was I wanted to eat in the first place. I still get good food, and now I got a good book too.
Mm-hmm. Or something I did when I was young and single, obviously way back in the days before all the streaming stuff and even most cable stuff. Because yes, I'm that old.
What? No. No.
Days of snail mail and rotary phones and all those fun things here. No, I used to go to the movies an awful lot by myself when I was single.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
went to the movie theaters because
it's nice, honestly.
Oh yeah, I got a chance to see a lot of good films that I really, really wanted to see, and I didn't have a date to go with, but I didn't want to miss it. Mm-hmm. So I went stag to a lot of movies and. Back in the 80s, mostly I was doing that, but yeah, I saw some really, really good stuff by myself. Heck, that's how I actually saw the first Star Wars film, or the last Star Wars film, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and Wendy, I totally understand what you're saying. It feeling very alone at the moment, and it's not fun. I get that. And here's the thing. There is very much a difference in being alone versus feeling lonely. And a lot of us don't know how to deal with being alone. We've never been taught how. So honestly, I think this might be a really good starting point for you specifically too, because of how much you're kind of going, uh-oh, that makes me uncomfortable. Okay, do it. Go to a movie by yourself. What, are people gonna stare at you?
No, they're not, by the way.
No, they won't.
Haven't had lots of experience doing that. No, they're just going to do their own thing.
People don't even stare at me when I go to restaurants by myself. Maybe if I like went somewhere super fancy by myself, but you know, if I go up to like TGI Fridays, no one. So yeah, I understand you're feeling very alone, but also at the same time, if your family is shutting you out, don't chase after them. That will make the alone feeling worse. So you now want to you either want to spend time finding people that can actually be support for you, or really, lean into being your own caregiver.
Mm-hmm. The one thing about dragons as a general rule are solitary creatures.
Yes.
I mean, not that they're alone all the time, by the way, but they have absolutely no problem spending the majority of their lives by themselves. That's their general nature. I'm not saying that's your nature, by the way, but essentially is that the three dragons there in the cards can all give you a little bit of their energy and saying it's okay. There is strength in you just by yourself.
Absolutely, there is. And it's one of those things where you may not feel it, but just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not there.
And just for the last card here, it sucks when you feel emotionally isolated.
Oh yeah,
the whale here, he's going back in the water while you're still hanging out over here. You know, if this is the metaphor of this is you and this is your family, and they're just kind of like leaving you out there. Well, you know what? That's their loss.
It is.
Because they're missing in on an experience that you could share with them, and they've decided to just go away and do something else.
Yep. You have so much to offer, but not to just other people. You have so much to offer to yourself. You know, I have the past couple of years been able to learn how to fall back on myself when other people, and it's one of those things where I don't have a support system that shuts me out here. I'm going to switch back to our faces. I don't have a support system that shuts me out. I have a very good support system here in Sound Guy. Mom, I have a very tight-knit group of friends that I am very, very close with. That doesn't mean that they actually can meet my needs all of the time. And it's completely unrealistic for me to expect that, because they're people that also have all of their own things going on at the same time. We all have lives all happening all at the same time. And so I basically learned that I needed to be able to figure out how to pick up my own pieces if and when my support system was just like, I'm sorry, I got too much going on.
Mm-hmm. And I'll share a little bit of personal information to you, Wendy, which may or may not help, but I can certainly understand how you feel about being, quote, shut up by your family.
Because so have we.
Yeah. Did you know that I'm a grandfather again?
For the third time?
For the third time.
I
have a son from my first marriage that was dissolved over 30 years ago.
I was going to say before me.
Yeah. Well, that's because Eric is going to be 31 in October.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He and his wife have just celebrated the birth of their third child. So I am now a grandfather 3 times over. I have never seen any of those kids. I may never see any of those kids. Because not that my eldest son, my firstborn, shall we say, and that we're, quote, enemies. No, we're not. We just don't really.
Very different places.
We're very different places in life. We don't really communicate much. I'm doing my thing. He's doing his thing, and we kind of ignore each other. To give a little bit of backdrop is that he was raised Mormon by his mother. Who converted, and so he's.
And I don't know if you can tell what we are.
Yeah, see this. Yeah, doesn't quite go. But yeah, they've drunk that, quote, Kool-Aid, and they live that lifespan and that style, and for them, as I basically said, if they are truly happy and they're not causing harm to anybody else, fine, live and let live. It's not my way. But then again, my way is not their way. That's okay. But as a result, they live in Idaho. I think it's Idaho.
Yep. And I
Um,
don't, and
And
I haven't seen them in more than a decade at this point.
no, you saw them at LBI the last time. That was in 2017.
Did
When-
he actually show up for that?
That was before. That was when Rachel still. That was when she was.
Oh.
She was just about to get pregnant the first time. You're gonna love this one because his wife is a full blown Mormon as well. She literally asked me to do a tarot card reading for her. You could have knocked me over with a feather. But the question she asked was she wanted me to predict how many kids she was going to have. And so far, my predictions are about 80% correct. I predicted 4 kids for them and a miscarriage before anything else. And she had the miscarriage.
And now they're on number 3.
Now they're on well, they've just had number 3. We'll see where this goes from there. But
But
the thing is, I understand the fact of
so
is
to
that
boil that down,
being shut out there's a whole part of my family that I have no involvement in. And I've had to learn to live with that.
mm-hmm.
Can I add something here?
Sure, sound guy, go for it.
It just seems like there's a saying that I think like really applies here. Like, not all family is blood, not all blood is family. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have a support network of friends. Lean on them. If your family is cutting you out, then how much family are they really to you?
Well, one of our friends also has a plaque in their home that says, "Friends are God's apology for your family."
Yep.
I love that. I always thought that was funny.
And it's very true.
Anyway, so we're going to put these cards away and let us move on. Wendy, I hope that information helped you, if nothing else.
Hey, Chelsea.
Chelsea's up next.
And then Melissa, you're on deck.
Chelsea, Melissa, Jamie. Those are the 3 ones we have coming up. Then we have Annie, and unless Diane and Angelique ever show up and they still have not yet, then Najar is going to be getting his reading.
Yay!
So did Chelsea, or did she previously chime in with something? Or we kind of like waiting?
I'm waiting.
Do.
Stop it.
Do you know we stopped and started at the exact same time?
Stop it.
This is frightening.
No.
Oh no, we're not related at all.
I gotta tell you something your wife said to me the other day, and I'm gonna tell it to the internet too, so that she can just be thoroughly embarrassed.
Sure. What?
Speaking of, can't tell you, the 2 of you are related. So we were talking the other day about, we got back onto the subject of who Dan and I look most like in the family. And she keeps saying that I don't look a thing like her. My mother is very incorrect. I
know she's so incorrect on that one.
I do look like, I am very much a combination of these 2 people. You can tell that I'm related to both of them. And so we're talking about this, and we're going on, and we get onto the subject of my birth. At which point, Mom goes, "Well, if you had been there, you would." And I had to stop her because, Ma, I
think you were.
I was there.
Yeah.
In fact, I was at my own birth.
Kind of front and center for the whole thing.
So Chelsea's, what does she want?
22, hoping for good things because life has been shit. Car got repoed and have until the 22nd to try and get a loan to get it back.
Well, that sounds like not.
Yuck.
Yeah. Do you want to use your cards for this? Your dragons? Did you actually want a specific deck there, Chelsea?
Because I would say dragons or Swiss Woman Day.
Oh, and by the way, Donna Jordan.
Hi, Casey.
We actually have you on the list, on the wait list. You would be after Najar. I mean, believe it or not, right now we would have room for Donna if Diane and Angelique continue to be no shows.
Chelsea does not care if it is dragons or Swiss Woman.
Then we're gonna go dragons.
Dragons is good, says Chelsea.
I don't think for a car repo thing we want to start worrying about ferreting out nuances of symmetry or lack thereof.
Oh, hey, look, it's the other one.
Oh Lord. Do.
You having fun in the comments there, babe? you good for me to switch?
Yeah.
Switch.
Alrighty.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
So we've got the upside down Ace of Cups, the right side facing 3 of Coins, and the upside down Knigget of Wands. Or Knight. I like saying it Monty Python style. Knigget.
These silly English kniggets.
Kniggets, exactly. So these two inverted. But at least we have a variety of elements. We've been doing an awful lot of flipping male energy, a lot of air, a lot of fire. I mean, here
Now
we
got
have
some water and
we
earth.
got some water and earth to go along with the fire. So obviously you can't get 4 elements in 3 cards, but at least here we have as much of a balance as we possibly can. And I'm just kind of curious. No, the next card was not an air. I was thinking about what if the 4th card was going to be an air card. No, it's not. It's another water card.
I'm sorry, Chelsea. You are having a rough go of it.
Well, I'll put it this way. Yeah. You've got the Ace of Cups. You've got that famous foreigner card. You're as cold as ice.
But I don't blame you.
No, I don't blame you at all. Upside down or not is the fact is that I'll grant you things have been crappy for you. So you could have reacted a whole bunch of different ways. One of which would have been very outwardly emotional and angry and pissed off. But you seem to at least be, for the most part, being able to at least kind of holding your tongue, at least to the professional outside world, shall we say, and trying to keep it calm and cool as possible. So yeah, basically putting everything putting your emotions on a block of ice. That way you don't say something that you might regret later and make it worse. So from that point of view, kudos to you.
She's keeping that 4-state killing spree under wraps here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that in itself does not help you get your car back at all.
Currently, you're trying. You are going along that path, playing by the rules, trying to do what you're supposed to.
And the idea of the 3 of Coins looking for that that path. What I'm kind of getting from these 3 cards is the fact of it's like I refer to this as kind of an oh shit moment in that going through this right now is kind of like really, really crappy. And it's just like, you wish this wouldn't have to happen. But believe it or not, at some point you're going to look back, a year or so now and kind of go, me going through that crappy moment actually really changed things. And ultimately I'm in a better spot now than if this hadn't happened. I know it sounds kind of cornball, but
yeah, that's what I'd call you. Cornball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because the Knight of Wands refers to change, and it's aggressive change. This is not the waiting for things to come to you. This is you going out and actually making things happen first. Now
this is you finally. So Chelsea, I know you. You got a long fuse. You have one of the longest fuses of anybody I have ever met. But guess what? We've finally hit the kaboom.
Mm-hmm. Upside down, because essentially it took this for you to kind of actually get going.
I know you don't like exploding. I know you don't like feeling this way. I know you much prefer being calm and level-headed. But yeah, no, we Chelsea go boom.
Come to New Hampshire. We have maple syrup.
No, I'm trying to convince her to take Sam and Virginia's apartment when they move.
Like I said.
By the way, Chelsea, take their apartment. Yeah, no, Chelsea, and I understand why you're feeling like that. I get it, and I get the frustration. You are stuck in a rut, and it is tied because you've been trying very hard to still play by the rules. Because one of the things that you haven't learned yet, and that, I mean, to be fair, very hard for people to learn. But playing by society's rules gets you nothing. And nowhere.
You play by their rules. You basically you give out you'll get the prices that they decide to give out to you.
Yep, and so I think
this is by the way, this is not the 10th annual Hunger Games.
No, but I think you've finally gone, fine, fuck your rules. My rules now. And I'm kind of over here going, go Chels, go Chels. Because if you can also get back the money that the school owes you.
Yeah.
There's
how's that lawsuit working, by the way?
Yeah. Get the money back and get the hell up here. You'll have enough money to afford it.
Because essentially, especially if you hadn't pursued this, if essentially it's because of them screwing you over has actually financially resulted in you losing your car, that's part of the lawsuit.
Yes, it is.
And basically make them pay for all the damages they are causing, not just the missing salary.
Yeah, Chels, it is now time to be mean and fight dirty.
Yes.
And you got way more friends down there than I do. One of your friends has got to know some legal help. And Matt is now threatening to road trip also. Just saying.
I'll bring a Fluffy with me. We'll get some money.
Yes, beat the Catholics until they give you her money.
Oh, at the Catholics?
Yeah. She was at a private school. They
remember.
Oh no, but you weren't here for the last one. So they skipped out on 4 months of paychecks for everyone.
20's in.
And so's Gabby. Yes, yes. Look at this.
See, 20 and Fluffy, I know would absolutely be down with my form of retribution.
And Chels, you're welcome in our commune. But yeah, straight up. We got friends with an apartment opening up. Do thing. And Melissa, it is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you dropping your comment right exactly when needed.
Okay, so let me finish up here by shuffling your dragons and give it back to you.
Yes, let's not mix them up again. How many times?
All right, so too many. So Melissa's up right now. Jamie, you are in the on deck.
Oh yes, everyone, keep sending Chels supportive comments. Hey Chels, here, I'm going to show you this one because you can't. Facebook people and YouTube people can't see each other's comments.
Putting those far away from my dragon
so
cards.
Here's one from a YouTube people. 4 months without pay is totally wild.
What am I doing for Melissa right now? I lost the
career involved. Number 9.
Number 9.
4 weeks I would stop showing up for work. Oh my god.
Oh, I like this. Somebody from YouTube has just gone, hello, OMG, beat up the Catholic. Yes, we're planning on it. We are planning on it. Would you like to get involved?
I'll bring my hammer.
Is that really a hammer or is it just a maul?
It's Thor's hammer from his point of view.
I don't think anybody's going to stop to ask me when I start going through walls with that thing.
All right, so career question for Melissa.
Yes, because Melissa says, I've had some minor net hiccups, but so far have maintained.
Well, looky, Senator. What's the first card on this thing is the last card that we just did.
Oh my god.
The Knigget of Wands returns again. And then we have, along with it, the 10 of Cups, and then the upside down 6 of Swords, which frankly is better off upside down than right side up.
So, Melissa, are we basically looking at what happened after you exploded?
Some minor net hiccups, but so far have maintained. Well, to continue the maintenance, you basically have to keep being aggressive. That's the whole point of the Knight of Wands. Now, grant you, in our last reading, Chelsea got her Knight of Wands upside down because she doesn't like to be that way. Yeah, we know. Not to beat that horse dead any further than we've already beaten up poor Chelsea on this one.
I like Melissa said, my give a damn is busted.
Yeah.
I like that.
I wanted to do that song about I got no F's to give. Can we say it on the live stream? Can we say the word?
It's our
F?
live stream.
I don't know.
I've got no fucks to give. My fucks have run up dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy.
I do like that song very, very much.
It's a good song.
But anyway, but it does have the whole idea that, yes, you're Knight of Wands, you're aggressive knight, you're going out in the field and basically slaying the Huns before they even get to the castle.
Oh, good lord.
What's this?
I am ready to help burn the place down if I can find new employment.
Well, I don't blame you, by the way, but please don't.
We don't have bail money.
I was going to say, don't be like, please, you have my stapler?
Please, do you have my stapler? I'm going to set the office on
The
fire.
office on fire. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to burn the place down. So actually, it doesn't really say that per se, but it refers to the fact of as you basically keeping the pedal to the metal here and keeping the aggressive, making the change going on. Oh, what did sound guy just throw in there?
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Bring some gallons of gasoline, a few gallons of Vaseline, and we can roast marshmallows from the space station.
Oh yeah, you mix them together, it makes napalm.
Yeah, no, I know. I know what it makes.
You know,
And the big marshmallows.
so back to Melissa's reading here.
Yep.
We're trying to get back
so
here.
hard.
Why did you bring him along?
So that he could drive me home.
Oh, that's about it, huh? Ay, ay, ay. So yes, keeping the pedal to the metal, and obviously don't let up on the idea of you need to make your own change. Now, from this perspective, however, I do like the middle card here. It's one of my favorite cards, by the way.
Oh, Lord.
Now what?
I do work at a dealership currently, so lots of flammable. All right, I can see where we're headed.
All right, let's try this again here. The 10 of Cups. Let's temporarily stop thinking about burning places to the ground and things of that sort. At least for the next 3 seconds, right?
1,
2,
2,
10.
3.
10 of Cups. This is the balance card. The transition of the Earth card. The idea is that the black and the white tree there, and you being the dragon head, you're right between the two of them, just kind of like hanging out there. Because the idea is that it refers to the black tree roots to the earth, everything we have to do to, sustain our stuff, our earthbound existence, versus the white tree roots to the sky. That's our contact with the spiritual and the emotional happiness and things of that sort. Let's just basically say that your aggressive nature today is going to lead to actually you having a much better room for balance and, quote, fulfillment tomorrow.
I like that.
Because it really is. I mean, the thing is, it shows that, you basically, blaze, be the blaze trailblazer right now, do what you have to do. Make the change that you want to see. If you can't actually internally with your job make the change, then basically quit the fucker, because you're better off than this anyway. There's
Certainly.
lots of other places which actually can deal with your talents. Bless you back there.
I like Gabby's thought. Time to rage apply.
Yes.
Yes, just a rage apply to so many other jobs.
Mm-hmm. Because the 10 of Cups basically says that you're going to find yourself in a spot where you actually, it obviously may not be, quote, perfect, but you'll at least be more or less balanced and happier with your overall position than you are right now.
Because also, it's one of those things, too, that you are working a job at the same time that you are running a small business. So you got a lot going on.
And just so you know,
I am trying to find a job where I also move. Southeast New Hampshire. Hi, that's us, basically.
yeah.
Hi, you're moving to our neck of the woods? And you're just telling us now? Whoa,
Who's this?
Melissa.
And she's also in school. Just know this, the upside down 6 of Swords, as much as I just said the balance is there for you, this does not mean that your path is, quote, wide open.
No.
Your path for success, at least the success that you want to see, is relatively narrow. And that's why the Swords here, basically, it's still a door frame, by the way. It's just a very narrow frame.
You just got to squeeze through.
Yeah. So
It's a 14th century doorway when everyone was the size of toothpicks. I'm funny. Laugh.
Ha ha.
That's what those are.
Damn
Those
it.
are finger sandwich toothpicks.
But believe it or not, this one actually shows an overall positive progression.
Yes, it does.
And so,
just more slow probably than you're hoping.
Right. Obviously, the idea is that remember the fact of is that don't give in. Basically, you need to be the one to constantly basically make the change that you want to change.
Oh, excuse me.
Everyone's
Sorry.
sneezing but me right now. Is it contagious?
I'm clearly allergic to you. So here, let me flip-de-dip back
Alrighty.
to our faces.
Back to our regular scheduled faces, so to speak here.
So boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Then we can go back up to Jamie's comment.
Oh, did Jamie already put?
I think. I'm not sure.
Yes, Jamie is up now.
Oh, so Jamie, so we have your question. Love that. Please give us also a deck that you would like to be read from. We have our dragon deck that you just saw, our Swiss 1/1J deck, which is also known as the Dark Shadows deck, and the deck of sexual magic, and a number between 1 and 78.
What's Jamie's question? I don't see that.
What can you guys tell me about my career / job circumstances, and what can I do to better, if not change?
Okay. I think probably the relationship deck is probably not the best for that question.
But you never know.
Oh, that's true. There are always exceptions.
Jamie, you're not a minor, right? I was just not giving that option to the one minor we read this evening. Working on your doctorate. Ooh.
Ooh, yes.
Go, Melissa, working on your doctorate. 25.
So you want 25.
And would you like the dragon deck, the Dark Shadows deck, or the sexual magic deck?
And we wait again.
No, Melissa, I did not know it was a doctorate specifically. I just knew that you were in school. There are just so many different types of degrees at this point.
She says she wants us to pick her poison. I mean, honestly, I think, unless yeah, that's what I was going to go with this one. Mm-hmm.
We have chosen Dark Shadows.
We have chosen Dark Shadows. You want to do the theme when I count out 25? Shut up.
You asked me to do this.
You made me lose my count.
It's because I was so good.
It was. It was rather impressive.
That's like a 45.
Look, I'm trying to do I'm trying to do a theremin impression. It's not very easy for a human voice.
Just get a theremin.
Would you like to buy me a theremin, love? If you would like to buy me a theremin, I will more than happily take it.
Oh, see, Donna's getting way ahead of the game.
Donna is on point, and
we'll save that because we'll have to come back to Donna's thing later on.
So, yes, but Annie, you would be after Jamie. So, Annie, put your thing in the comments, pretty please.
Okay. Well, Jamie, I'm glad you feel about how our energies kind of click here. I'm glad you found us tonight. Because I don't think have you been a part of our live streams before, Jamie?
I do not recognize their screen name, and I'm one of the people that's always paying attention to that. So let me. Is it good to flip yet? Not quite.
Not quite. I'm trying to arrange these things so.
Yes, so that they're on camera.
Exactly. All right, you go ahead and flip it now. Do. Actually, we go. No, you're doing Wild Wild West.
That's where I thought you were going.
Actually, I want to go ba ba da ba 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 da ba doing Indiana Jones.
Oh wow, those two kind of start very.
They
similarly,
actually do.
Don't they?
Yes, they do. The musically they start very similar. If you Wild Wild West, you have to go do 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 do.
Wow, this has been a very punchy night, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Okay, so all of our cards are upside down. We have the upside down 5 of Wands. We have the upside down 10 of Coins. We just saw that with the Dragon cards. And then the upside down 6 of Cups. I'm sorry, I said 10 of Coins. Cups, excuse me. So we have fire, water, and water. Because actually, we have not seen the 10 of Cups in the Dragons tonight.
So are you feeling a bit emotionally run down at the moment?
Well, her question is more about career than is anything else.
Yes, but if we're struggling in our jobs, we can have unhappy emotional times.
Absolutely.
You would know, wouldn't you?
Yes, I certainly would know that. I'll know all too well. The whole concept of fire and water, they don't necessarily mix well together now, do they?
Actually unemployed. Okay.
Well, that makes it even potential. Unless you are voluntarily unemployed and don't mind that, then that's even worse.
But when we have upside down cups, I always assume, oh, there's some emotional drainage happening. Going to school to be an electrician. Ah,
Oh, okay.
lovely. We need many of those.
I was going to say the world needs more, especially in this country. We need a lot more people who actually know how to do just basic trades. Electricians are,
especially with all of the natural disasters that have been occurring.
Oh, indeed. But anyway, fire and water. To say the fire and water don't mix, that's true in some regards, but not in others. I'm going to basically use the whole idea of that when we do our pagan element readings, when we try to like mix fire and water. Fire represents oftentimes the health of the body. So when you have a water card in the fire position, that kind of stinks because obviously someone's pouring water onto your fire. On the other hand, if you're talking about an emotional card, that is in the suit of water. And so when you have a fire card in the water position, that means something very different because I know you've heard the phrase heart burning with passion. And a heart can't burn with passion without fire. So from that perspective, it can be actually very compatible and beneficial. Your numbers 5, 10, and 5. 5 and 5 make 10. Now,
we're being very divisible, aren't we?
That's for one thing. But also, remember we had the temperance card, but this 5 has come in before a few readings ago. 5 refers to reevaluation of things. You have a reevaluation both of your energy and of your emotions. And combined in the middle is that the idea is that the emotional type is what actually leads. You are much more, from a decision perspective, you're definitely much more of an emotional person than you are anything else. Which, by the way, think about, you're studying to be an electrician. Are you doing that solely for a paycheck? Or are you doing that because it really is interesting to you? And you're going to basically realize that when you're out there actually doing that kind of work, you're going to have not just, pay for doing your services, but you're also going to feel good about the fact that you're actually contributing to and assisting other people. Therefore, you have that kind of emotional compatibility.
Jamie says it's something they like to do.
Exactly. This is what the whole point of making the decision here. It is based on emotion. So, not going to beat around the bush here. It's going to take a lot of effort, especially to get good at this. It sounds. And by the way, I should know I'm an engineer.
Ha!
I'm an environmental engineer. I hire people like you guys all the time to do stuff like that because that's not my bailiwick. I design stuff. You guys build it for me. But the idea is that, if this is something that if this makes total sense to you and you really enjoy doing this stuff, then this is a career that you're going to very much enjoy doing. But remember that it's going to take a while for you to get to the level where you're going to be essentially, quote, on your own. You're going to have to not just learn the basics. You're going to want to probably apprenticing with a company out there. And you're going to learn from people with a lot more experience than you before essentially you become the person with the experience. What was that?
They're on director's list for their last class.
Bingo.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So you're setting yourself.
So you smart.
You're setting yourself up well for success.
Yes.
The problem is, and it's beyond any of ours control, is just the way of the world in this moment in time.
Mm-hmm. However, I would say that what she's going into, I think there's a lot more of a need for that than certain other professions, shall we say.
Oh, hell yeah, but I don't imagine that people aren't going to try to take advantage. Because that's just what people are like.
Yeah. That's a great way of putting that, because absolutely. People in the trades, unfortunately, they are looked at as servants all the time.
Well, it's that, but also it's the you're fresh out of school, therefore I don't have to pay you what you're worth. You're just desperate for anything. Which No.
No, that's definitely not true. Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't know about where she's from. I know up here in southern New Hampshire, because actually we have a bunch of people who we've contractors who we have in our house here that do the various things when we need them. And I was actually having a good conversation with one of the master plumbers that we've dealt with, and he's like, he's having a hard time because he's getting close to retirement age, and he's having a hard time actually turning his business over to some of the younger people because there aren't many younger people out there who actually want to do this stuff. They're going, dudes, you can't. People have to understand these skills people need to have.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but that's your generation's fault.
Is it?
At least partially. It's your parents and your generation's fault in kind of a collective way, because y'all raised us younger generations. You have to go to college. No going to a trade school. You have to do college is everything. College. And it turns out that was a crock of shit.
Well, it wasn't for a while, then it became one.
But where we are right now in our day and age, that's an absolute crock of shit. And what everybody should be screaming right now is trade school, trade school, trade school, trade school.
Yeah, the pendulum has swung back the other direction.
Yes, because everyone went to college so much that now we don't have enough people to fill gaps.
We have another troll.
Oh, I took care of it.
You took care of. Okay, never mind.
If you want to work with a union, they pay for college after you start your apprenticeship.
Yeah, I would try to avoid a union if I could.
Well, it depends these days because, I mean, look at how much striking is happening because in various...
Well, this way, I know...
hugely depends these days.
But that's true. I mean, I know about some of the trades which I deal with. Unfortunately, you know, I don't know enough about her specific trade to kind of go, I don't know if the unions are actually have value or if they're more of a disservice.
Good Lord. Hey, Ibrahim, you can't even spell psychic correctly. My Lord.
Sick, whatever the, oh my God.
Goodbye, Ibrahim. Goodbye.
He's also a spiritual Saphizic. He's a Saphizic. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. We're getting lost in the troll here. So sorry, Jamie. But yeah, the upside down nature of all three of these cards just basically says understand what you're getting into.
Which I think you do.
And I think you do. So I think from that point of view, your fives turning into your tens. The 5 reevaluation, I think you've already done the reevaluation. So the thing is, the 10 of cups is that whole put up in the dragon cards. It's actually that it's a discussion card. You know, it's just like making sure that you actually fully understand what your motives are. And if you actually have the motives and you know what you're looking forward to, then I think you're in a good spot here. 5 and 5 make 10.
Indeed. I like it.
I do too. Oh yeah, look what popped up just for fun.
The Queen of Swords.
Yes, afterwards.
Very nice.
That was the 4th card. I was just kind of curious. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That's also what Aquarius is, the Queen of Swords. So I'm like going, aha, metamorphosis. We like that. All right, so now we're up to Annie, and I'm going to for the final time. Diane, Angelique, the pair of Tybalt that are out there.
Speak now.
Speak now, or we are totally giving away your spaces, which means that Najar and Donna are going to get them.
Excuse me, I have to scroll back a little bit because I saw Annie's opinion here.
But yeah, we have Annie, and then we're going to go right to Najar. And Najar, I hope you're still here, hanging out here, watching this.
There it is. Dragon, both 16, general.
Okay, we just did yours. We'll do mine. You said 16?
Yep. To the people asking to be added to the list, unfortunately, we have all of our spaces filled for tonight, but if you would like to join us next month, we do highly recommend you sign up in advance to guarantee yourself a spot.
Yes, you can sign up now for next month.
Indeed, you can.
Because yes, we have done 7. We have 3 left to go. We are about to do Annie right now. Najar is here and Donna is already here. So I think we could put you on the wait list, but unfortunately the wait list now becomes essentially next month.
Yep, essentially.
So we apologize, but we did this. I think the first time we did this, we didn't set a limit.
Diana,
we were on for like 4 hours.
Diana, since you are apparently having some comprehension issues, you are not on the list for this month. You can sign up for next month, but you will not be receiving a reading from us this evening. The people who will be receiving readings from us for the rest of the evening are Annie, Najar, and Donna.
Jordan.
So, Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so go ahead and flip the cards for Annie. Oh, I didn't position them very well, did I? I can do the Dawning of Aquarius again because it shows up again here.
Look at
We've
that.
got another Knigget. This is the Knigget of Coins, the Earth Knigget. We have the Upside Down Queen of Swords, again, Aquarius. And then the 7 of Coins. So now we actually have a combination that we haven't seen tonight yet. A pair of Earth cards with an Air card in between. And actually, I'm going to let you start the conversation. I need to just quick check something over here.
Yep. All right. Annie. Oh, yes, Annie. It's crop circles again. Yes, yes. Here's the thing, Annie. At some point, you're going to have to start doing things that are pushing you in more of the direction that you want to go faster. Look, you, with the Knight of Coins, I don't know if you can see it very well with how the camera is right now, but if you could use your finger there, Father, and point to the baby dragon.
Yep, baby dragon is right here on the dragon's wingtip.
Yes. So look, you are trying very hard to do what you need to do in your day-to-day, and especially being a good mother to your kids and all of that happy, fun stuff. However, you're running up against some issues. Some are that are external and some that are internal. We're looking more at the internal ones right now. Because, gosh, you really hate change. Even though that's what you need. Because the way that your life is right now, the things fall apart, the center does not hold. But you're still being that queen resisting the change.
Amen to that. Hi, Darlene.
And like, straight up, you gotta pick a side of the bridge, man. Floating in the middle is doing no one any good, least of all you.
No, you have to cross it. I'll grant you, it's a leap of faith.
Yep.
I mean, it really is. You know, the thing is, if you keep I'll grant you, the first card is you're the guard on duty. Okay. It's a valuable position. I'll grant you. It's also one of the safest. All right. You don't have to actually go out and do anything. You're just kind of like protecting. As a result, you have the upside down angriest dragon in the deck.
Which is very like you. I love you. I love you, and I'm going to call you out. You have a lot of negative energy around you because you don't do anything to get rid of it. And in fact, I'm going to call you out a little further. And I think that you're starting to lose your identity to it. Do you remember who you are outside of the pain? Outside of the struggle? Outside of everything going haywire? It's time to get back to that person.
Yep. And yeah, and the dragon then floating in there over the bridge. I'll grant you, crossing that bridge can be rather difficult, especially for the fact is that you don't know if it can hold your weight. That's why it's a leap of faith to get on it in the first place. You can stay.
It doesn't need to hold your weight. You're a dragon.
Yeah.
You have wings.
You can fly over in case it starts crumbling on you. But the thing is, if you play the conservative route, you will stay on that one shore. But you can see that there's actually a nice little promising little something on the other end there. You know, there's a structure there. There's actually more viable stuff on the other end of that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to actually motivate yourself to, well,
And that's
move
and
and
that's
stop
the
playing it
part.
safe.
And that's the part that you're really struggling with right now, because you are trapped in your head going, oh my God, everything's so terrible. Everything's so awful. And it's been terrible and awful for a long time. And I don't see a way out. And a blah, blah, blah. No, you don't necessarily always see a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't. I'm still working at becoming better every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to be that version of myself.
Nobody else does either.
No, nobody liked me. Actually, no, that's not true at all. Many people liked me. Many of the incorrect people liked me.
There's the appropriate phrase, yes. Yeah, it's a lot of people don't like what you've become, and those people that don't like what you've become are no longer in your life, and that's a good thing.
Well, there are a few people that are still in because I called them out on it, like you.
Well, yeah, but I adapted it and morphed.
Uh-huh. Well, why?
I'm dad, okay? The thing is, I was only ever acting in your best interest. You may disagree, but then again, that's because also I was given some very bad information by certain doctors of the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
but that's besides the point.
Yeah, but you got to move towards that version of yourself. You've lost a portion of who you were, and now it's going to take a leap of faith to get back there. And not for nothing, a lot of people want to meet that version of you.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
So that's what we got for you tonight.
Enjoy
Annie.
being called out by people that love you dearly.
And that's what the cards do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely do. All right, so we're going to move on to Najar, who I also believe is a first-time.
Indeed. And I did see that he said he was still here a little while ago.
Yes, he did.
Yes, thank you for checking in. So Najar, I'll say it for you again in case you missed it. So please, if you have a question, let us know. Pick which reader you would like to sort of take point. At which deck you would like, dragons, dark shadows, or the sexual magic, and a number between 1 and 78.
So to those of you who are chiming in, looking for readings, I see we're getting requests from.
We have a lot of new people this time.
Absolutely.
How lovely.
I love.
Oh, you're a girl. People. So sorry. Should have asked pronouns. That's my bad. That is my bad.
It is your bad.
Whoopsie doopsie. I'm usually much better at that. Hello, Tiffany, and welcome.
So yes,
and Tiffany, since you're new, we have such a great connection because if you'll notice, it says Fafnir and Spawn. Hi, I'm his spawn.
Yep, Fafnir. Excuse me. Duh, I can't do this right.
Fafnir,
Spawn of Fafnir. Blah blah blah. Oh God, it's been a long night.
Yes.
Anyway, so for those of you who are making the recent comments, looking for slots for readings. We only have a couple slots left, and they've already been given to people this evening, and so we can definitely. We do this once a month, by the way.
We do.
We do this once a Thursday, usually middle of the month. So if you are just watching and kind of like if you like the kind of like vibe that you're kind of getting from us, and would like to get a reading from us, like I said, unfortunately we don't have space in tonight to do that. But we can do it for you in the month of September. So if you'd like to sign up now.
And we will say that it is probably going to be slightly later in September than we normally do, just because we have a couple of New Jersey events we got to go out to.
No, September and October are just like we're booked.
The
weekends are basically gone.
Well, see, for me, I thought about like being like, our event season's starting to wind down, but it's not it's mine. He gets to do it Salem for the entirety of October, and
yeah. Oh, it's fantastic in some ways, and
Oh,
a
Tiffany.
lot of work in others.
Oh, Tiffany, if you're in New Jersey, come to the Sparta,
Ooh.
New Jersey Renaissance Fair if you would like to be read by us in person.
Yes, you can see us in person at the Sparta Fair. We're gonna now. I'll grant you this: the Sparta Fair actually runs for the final 3 weekends of September. It doesn't start Labor Day weekend, but it will the other 3 weekends. We will not be there all 3. We're going to be in the 2 in the middle. We're going to miss the final weekend.
Yeah, well, so the first 2.
Essentially the 2nd and 3rd weekends of September, we will be in Sparta.
So Tiffany, so it's the 2nd and 3rd weekend. And as for how much, I am not entirely sure off the top of my head.
Well, how much does it cost to get into that fair?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head.
I think it's somewhere like in the neighborhood of like $15-20 a person, if memory serves.
It's not super expensive.
Not a huge amount to get in.
And also, it is huge. It's on an old Girl Scout camp, there's just so much stuff to see. Highly recommend.
Yes.
Michelle, thank you so much. The 9th, 10th, 16th, and 17th. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Because Michelle's going to be there too. She's
Michelle
one of the
is
vendors.
another one of the vendors that's going to be there, yeah.
Plus, you'll get a chance to see me also in my full dragon getup, because I will go out and play with the audience every now and then.
Yes, indeed.
As Fafnir.
Yes.
The green dragon.
So, yes, thank you again, Michelle. Oh, Michelle, you are super helpful. Thank you so much,
Wow.
Michelle.
Okay. She remembers that.
No, she just...
Oh.
Thank you,
How
Michelle.
about that?
Thank you for Michelle.
She went right to the source.
So,
okay, so back to
Najar said we could choose deck, but Najar, do please give us a number between 1 and 78 and whether or not you have a question.
Oh, in that comment there was no question in there and all that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I love it, Michelle. On my laptop, it makes it easy. You know, we're on our laptops too, but it's less easy for us.
I was gonna say we're a little busy with our laptops right now.
So yeah, do you want to become like our official secretary?
Okay,
28.
So Najar's 28, and then basically didn't really choose a
deck or
here we go.
question. I know it sounds unconventional to ask. What is going to be Hamid's karma for hurting me, and when is it going to happen? Well, let's find out.
That is an interesting question.
And yes, unconventional.
So you want to go with an unconventional deck?
Why not?
That would be this one.
Go for it.
We're picking Dark Shadows deck. Or do you think we should go with more of Dragons?
No, I think Dark Shadows is fine.
Okay. What was the number again?
28.
28.
So Tiffany, we are not going to be able to read you tonight just because our list for this evening is already full. But if you would like to sign up for next month, you can do that because Diana, yes, we'll put you on the list for next month. And just so y'all are aware, if you're signing up for next month's slot, essentially it's because you're adults and we trust you, it's your responsibility to basically show up to the live stream on time and let us know you're here.
Right. What we can do is that for those of you who would like to sign up, since you're writing comments, if you just want to throw in your email addresses or otherwise something which we can basically shoot you a little quick reminder or give you the actual invite directly to the live stream, we can do it that way as well.
And also, Ada Doll, if you're still here, you said you emailed. I'm not entirely sure who you are based on your YouTube username, but not a name that I currently recognize.
I would say I checked the email just before we went on, and so there wasn't anything new. If it happened during the live stream, that's
Here, well, Dad can.
You said 20, correct?
28.
28. Okay.
Here, Tiffany, let me answer your question by putting up a helpful banner. We have many of them. Oh no, did we get rid of it?
What?
Oh no, our email. We might have.
Well, the website is still up there. But,
no, they wanted to know our email. So you can email us to book in advance. One, you can either email us at fafnirandspawn@gmail.com, but you can also message us on our Instagram, which is Fafnir and Spawn, or our Facebook, which is Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers.
There's our website right there. So basically, if the email is fafnirandspawn@gmail.com.
Dan, does it tell you automatically when you're live? Basically, so we post events, like Facebook events. When we create the StreamYard link, it creates a Facebook event, and if you go into the Facebook event and click that you're going, then Facebook will give you a reminder of, hey, this event is starting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't do that, then it doesn't really give you any reminders unless you like put one of your own in a calendar.
Right, because basically you would have to like literally be on our Facebook page or a YouTube channel to be watching it.
Yep. That is where we broadcast. All right.
So,
shall you put the cards down?
Comments back up here. All right.
And while he's doing that, I will write down some emails here because we have.
So yes, all we need to put the question back on the screen just to make sure we can answer it correctly.
It is, what is someone's karma for hurting her, and when will it happen?
Well, this is a really interesting thing.
Karma is just a sliced brake line, isn't it?
That's just terrible joke.
I was being serious.
Is it good to switch?
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, Tiffany, Bad Wolf, you're a Doctor Who fan. Love it.
Okay, so these are the names, by the way, for September.
Yeah, I haven't written down their full emails yet, just because we're still going.
Exactly. Okay, so what we have here, Nijar, we've got the Valet du Denier, otherwise known as the Page of Coins, which also doubles as a zodiac sign for Virgo. Then we have the Ace of Coins, and then we have the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is actually upside down. That's an inverted one. So I'm going to turn over so you can see the picture. But other than that, it looks kind of similar as a version of upside down. We're back to that whole symmetry thing again, aren't we? Well, I'll put it this way. You asked a series of questions. One of them was a time frame. That's the easiest one to answer because the Valet also doubles as a zodiac sign. That is Virgo. We're about to head into Virgo before the week is over.
Yay!
So it's coming soon. Which means you'll be able to get it over with soon. Basically,
that is the silver lining if that isn't it.
It kind of is. The fact of we're still in the month of Leo, but Leo is
the month of Leo.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Actually, I'm sorry. Virgo starts next week. But yeah, so we're in the final week of Leo. So next week we are going into Virgo, and then Virgo will go until the 23rd of September. So effectively, you have the next 4 to 5 weeks to wait or get through this karma, so to speak, here. And you've wanted to know what type of karma it's going to be.
Or like when will it happen?
Well, the when is Virgo.
Yes. Okay. So
the thing is, what kind is going to be is I'm going to jump to the third card first, rather than go before I do the middle card here, because the Three of Swords. Even though this specific deck does not have the universal picture of the Three of Swords, but most tarot decks out there, and those of you who are out there who are listening to this, who know tarot and know what I'm about to say, most decks for the Three of Swords have a picture of three swords stabbing the heart. The reference to heartache. Now,
our brain and our mind are not. Our brain and our heart are not getting along.
Bingo. And so the idea is that it's going to be an attempt at emotional trauma. Something that basically what the quote karma is essentially is their way of trying to like see if they can have you get emotional hurts and wounds, and see how your head will be processing those wounds. Because essentially that's what this is about. The three swords stabbing the heart. Yeah, you could say, okay, my heart is being stabbed. I get that. But swords being an air card, it's not just, heartache. It's the whole point of emotional processing with your brain. And sometimes that can work out very well. And sometimes it can work out not so well. It all depends on the perspective, especially because I tell people, so when people suffer an emotional trauma, normally the first thing they have a tendency of doing, and this is a natural thing, is like kind of like at least a lot of people is to essentially shut down emotionally.
Shut down.
And
it hurts.
Right. And then just let the brain do the initial processing of the trauma. That way it kind of like gets you off the ground and back on your feet and moving again.
It's a survival instinct.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is that, and I can speak from experience, our brains have a very hard time telling when we are still in survival mode and when we have actually left it. You could ask Sound Guy. We are dealing with me coming out of essentially an entire lifetime of survival mode. And one of the things is like, you feel things a lot more intensely because your brain is no longer giving you that block because it doesn't need to anymore. And so all of a sudden you're like, why am I such an emotional wreck? I was fine before. What's going on? It's because your brain has finally gone, I'm in a safe place. Release it,
exactly. So that's what's coming. Now, going to cover the middle card because we kind of ignored that one until now, because essentially the left card answered your time frame. The right card answered essentially the type of karma that's coming your direction. The middle card, though, is your buffer between the two. I don't know if you ever heard the song, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. Good harmony, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The Ace of Coins, it's a good, coins is for earth. It's a good, solid foundation. Aces are for new beginnings. And this one's not inverted. This is the actual forward fronting number one of earth. So the idea of the karma, the nasty stuff coming your direction, okay, you will have to weather the storm, absolutely. But the center card there is the buffer between the quote things, the quote bad stuff coming your direction, and it's a card of stability. And it's like, well, it's like, okay, you're the mountain. Here comes the storm. The storm will do its thing on you. It'll drop the rain, the snow, the sleet, the hail, the whatever it is.
You've seen fire and you've seen rain.
Yes, James Taylor, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And then eventually the storm's going to go wash over you and go past you, and you're still going to be there. And you may have taken some minor damage, absolutely, but the foundation hasn't changed.
Still there, still good.
So prepare for what's coming, but remember that it's like this is not going to basically completely knock you off your perch, so to speak. But that's what I got for that one.
You basically took my talking points, so yay.
Alrighty.
I like when we agree.
I hope, Najar, that actually hope that helps you.
And then we shall be closing out the evening with Donna, who sent her stuff a while back. Thank you so much for being
glad
proactive.
You actually found it all. That and so what does she have?
Dragon and number 4, and I'll read this while you're shuffling because she sent us a little lengthy.
We want to use your dragons?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
So, my sister and I have embarked on a partnership as the Panini Sisters, selling delicious panini at fairs and festivals, etc. We have a strong Italian heritage. We are talking about perhaps expanding out, maybe including baked spaghetti or pizza, etc. I'm wondering what our path forward with this idea looks like. We are really enjoying it so far, though it has only been a couple of shows. We have one really big one coming up this weekend. P.S. I'm in northern New Hampshire, and I mean northern, on the border.
Whoa, I'm up on the border.
No, I knew that's where you were gonna. Shall I?
I'm gonna change this water to wine.
So shall I?
Sure, absolutely. You know, cut out my Eagles song, huh?
Oh my gosh, you're so helpful. She actually repeated the comment down below, so I didn't actually have to go looking for it. Thank you, Donna. But I did find it.
So we actually have 3 cards that we've actually seen earlier tonight. Except for we didn't see the dragon version of Temperance. We saw
we've seen
we saw the Swiss 1/1J's version of Temperance. But we have an Earth card, an Air card, and a Fire card. And again, the Sagittarius for the Fire card. 3 elements. And let's see, is the 4th one water? No, it's not.
No, it is not.
I just had to just look for my own edification purposes. Did we have that Earth, Air, Fire, Water balance? Well, close, but not quite.
So yeah, you guys are doing good so far. I like that this ends in Temperance because I kind of expected it to. Because I'm not entirely sure what it is like for stock-based, food-based vendors, but for us, we're a service-based vendor that has done. I got it. That has been doing these for years. We definitely knew that the first few years we were not going to be profitable.
We weren't really worried about it either.
No. But it was one of those things where a lot of people go into this expecting amazing blow up success immediately. And that's not what happens.
No. And the thing is, and if you actually do get that kind of blow up success,
congratulations, you're very rare.
You're very rare. You're very lucky. Oh, and by the way, don't get too cocky.
No.
Glory is fleeting.
But based on these cards, it seems like the two of you have good logical heads on you about it. I really like the Temperance at the end. It's always good to do some reevaluating of how things are going with the business.
Mm-hmm. It's also the thing is you do need to take some chances. Both the 7 of Coins and the 9 of Swords essentially basically says you have to basically take some chances.
Not for nothing. Look into Renaissance fairs. As people that do Renaissance fairs, we'd love paninis.
Absolutely.
We would love paninis and pizza.
Food always works well at any of these outdoor events.
But yeah, if you guys there are so many events for you guys to expand into. But so we have the 7 of Coins, which is that leap of faith there that you guys took the leap of faith. Mm-hmm. We've discussed the leap of faith a little bit earlier. But yeah, there it is. There it is. You took it. And now you guys are kind of coming up to a new threshold. Now that you sort of have gotten things started and you've now you have a couple of events under your belt and you kind of see how things are going. Now we have that new threshold before you. Shall you cross it?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to. Right.
And the thing is, the idea is that you have to basically... You have to think liberally and conservatively at the same time, which I know kind of sounds like what the heck, isn't that a complete contradiction? But let me give an example of the fact of we just completed the Vermont Expo, Psychic Expo, which
huge
was the
leap
first,
of faith on our part.
Huge leap of faith to do it in the first place. Even our organizer, good old Jeff of Vermont Gatherings. I mean, it was kind of his idea to begin with. And he enlisted us because essentially, as he says, he doesn't know the first thing about psychic arts, and then he kind of like trusted us. So between the 3 of us, we kind of put the thing together. Obviously, much more so his effort than ours, but there were significant portions which he kind of like essentially left us to organize. We had some disagreements as to how things were going to go, and I basically at one point said to Jeff, I said, you know what? I said, this is what you're good at. We're not going to question your part. I say you don't question what we're good at. So basically, we're trusting you to do your part. Trust us, do our part. And the thing is, if it crashes and burns,
then we know.
Then we'll know. And so essentially, we hit a home run with this one.
Absolutely,
we far exceeded expectations. So people are already going, can I join for next year? Can I join for next year?
Yeah, we had several people that came as patrons that were writing their tickets off as business expenses because they wanted to be readers or vendors or lecturers.
It's something that next year, exactly. So, but one of the first things that Jeff and I talked about as we're like wrapping up the books on this first one is that congratulations, yay us, we did a good job. And the thing is, we have a long-term vision of where we would like to see this thing grow into, but we can't just make that jump and grow and double and triple in size in 1 year. No, we're gonna have to do this methodically, because after all, because we were a brand new event, one of the things we don't know is we do not know if we were a fluke.
Nope, but it
And if we-
certainly doesn't sound.
No, I don't
like
think
it.
so. But the thing is, but there's a very decent possibility that we could run essentially the exact same type of a thing next year and have the attendance be a third of what it was this year. In which case, then we would know. So the idea is that now, granted, in all likelihood, because of the feedback we're getting from the patrons, if nothing else, we basically we filled a void.
We did.
And
We
so now,
absolutely
and
did.
so the thing is, I think like other voids that Jeff's company has been filling, this is going to grow, but we're going to have to grow it stepwise.
And you are honestly, I think, as a food vendor coming into this at an incredibly opportune time. Like I'm saying, please get into Ren fairs. We need more food options, and because people. We like at the main Ren fair, as an example, one of the problems at the main Renaissance fair is that a lot of food vendors run out of food because they don't realize how many people actually show up.
Right.
Like the first Saturday, we had 5,000 people, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no.
Oh,
What the cards are saying is, if you want to take the leap and expand, absolutely do it. You are going to find success. And the fact that you're doing the leap, and as you said, the leap, the hard work, and the constant evaluating. Yeah, that's a good cycle.
That's exactly what you want, because you don't want to be too conservative, because then you don't grow. You also don't want to basically be too liberal, or you're the Robin Hood Renaissance Fair.
Exactly.
Offer vegan options.
Like I think about just the Vermont Expo that we just did, the Psychic Expo, is the fact is that we only had one food vendor that actually was providing lunch food. We had a bunch of people that were doing, drinks and snacks and desserts and things of that sort. We only had one vendor that actually provided actual lunch for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, they could have used at least two more. We had
that
especially that Saturday. Oh my God,
we had a lot of people.
The poor vendor was out. They were like running out of stuff.
Here, I'm switching back to our
Do
faces.
they have the Mediterranean food there?
No,
he just had most of the regular Ren Fair crowd was not there, which we expected.
Yeah,
but,
there were a few, but no, the one food vendor, it was a Mexican place, which was pretty good, by the way.
But yeah, Donna,
Food's always
if you're interested, honestly, message our Instagram, email us, message our Facebook. If y'all would love to get into Ren fairs, hi, we can get you into the door of several, like at least 7.
No, paninis are always a good thing.
Hugely, especially at an outdoor event where I can hold it.
I can
don't
hold
need
it.
Fork and knife.
The thing is also because a panini, it's relatively, it's because it's grilled, it's solid. Therefore, I don't bite it and doesn't disintegrate in my hand.
Mhm.
So it's a good walking food, and plus it's also a nice healthy sandwich on top of it.
Oh, see, we do the VT fair, and also there's gonna be news coming down about the VT fair at some point.
Shh.
I
It's
didn't
a
say
secret.
anything.
It's a
There's
secret.
just gonna be news. But
Yes.
yeah, no. If you want, we will put in a word with Jeff because
He likes us.
yeah, it's and we're now having the option to physically expand further. So I think, hey,
And there we go.
they can have yeah, I think there's room at the fair for more food vendors.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously that's definitely Jeff's bailiwick, but
yeah,
he definitely would know that better than we would.
But we also do the New Hampshire Renaissance Fair. We do the Sparta, New Jersey Ren Fair, which is an excellent fair as well.
Maine Renaissance Fair,
excellent fair. We were doing the Connecticut Fair, the Fall Connecticut and the Spring Robin Hood. We just physically can't hack that schedule anymore. But if you are interested in checking out the Connecticut Fair, we still know all of the people there and can be like, hey, there's a food vendor.
Yeah. And there we go for the evening. Thank you all for hanging out with us and chiming in with us. And for those of you, like I said, who want to do it with this next month, we've got some names. Hopefully we got some email addresses. We can definitely send you some links and notices when we officially pick the date, which let me think. It's probably going to be either the 14th or the 21st.
Oh, and Michelle, yes, thank you. I completely forgot. This is sort of a new thing that's starting up in northern Vermont as well. Gathering of the Realms. It's more of a Fae-centric type theme, right? I'm thinking, but still, Fae need to eat too.
Everybody needs to eat.
We do. It's very true.
And us dragons, we need to eat a lot. After all, that's all I do when I do those shows. All I do is just rummage food from the people, the patrons.
I think at one point we might have to shut down for half an hour just so I can see one of these shows. I want to see one of these eventually.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you need to see a show which, unfortunately, where there's a lot of people there, because I've done a few of these where there's like not many people there, and it's, Angela does a really good job, but it's a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
When I get the kids there and the tent's full, oh yeah, I guess I can just tell I can tell some of the kids are just like, no, they don't want a thing to do with me as a dragon, but others like, oh. I love when the fact of, because when I start playing the dragon as like a sulking child, because I lose all. I always get beat by everybody.
Well, naturally, you're supposed to.
But I get hugs from the kids though, because they start feeling sorry for me.
That's very cute.
It is cute. And every now and then, people will root for me. They'll start cheering, "Dragon, dragon!" And Angela's like, "No, you're not supposed to root for the dragon."
See, if I go to the show, I'm gonna be like, "I'm sorry, Spawn. I have an obligation."
Anyway, thank you all for joining with us again, and we'll be doing this again next month, and it will be pretty close to the start of fall when we do this.
Dun dun dun!
Summer is going away.
It did.
Actually, I don't mind. To tell you the truth, I like fall anyway.
Well,
That's
honestly,
my favorite season.
Honestly, I'm miffed just because we really didn't had a summer. We didn't have really a summer. We had rain. And more rain.
Well, we had rain and rain and rain, and then oppressive humidity and heat, and then more rain.
Yep, and that was a bad summer.
Well, global warming. Get used to this, because this is what New England's gonna be looking like.
What if I don't wanna get used to it?
Well, you could go to Texas and be part of the 120 degrees for 14 consecutive days, and then have one day off, and then have another 20 days of 100-degree plus heat. Just saying. What's like the cartoon that you saw for The Simpsons? You see Bart going, "This is the hottest summer I've ever experienced," and the dad coming over and saying, "This is the coolest summer that you're going to experience for the rest of your life."
I hate it. Anyway,
The Simpsons are rarely wrong.
Yeah, I know. Ain't that scary?
Thank you so much for tuning in, Diana, Tiffany, and Darlene. You are on the docket for next month already, so. Be prepared.
Be prepared.
That's the Boy Scouts marching. Nope. Shouldn't do that one.
No, not now. So on that note, thank you again for watching us, because after all, if you weren't out there, we still wouldn't be doing this. We started this during COVID, and we're keeping it going because people like you want us to be here, and we enjoy reading you guys. So until next month, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Ciao.